Hello and welcome. You're watching my take on the big debate. I'm Afrida Rahman Ali, and every week, what I do is I bring to you one topic that has been debated aggressively across television channels, and it's going to be a fast, snappy, quick roundup of the main points of the debate. So I'll give you the points for and against, and you decide which side you want to be on. So this week, I have picked up the Rohingya issue, which of course has dominated prime time across channels. I'm going to give you a quick idea of where the debate stands at the moment. So, what do those who support the Rohingya issue have to say? Those who support say, well, these are poor, homeless, helpless people who have come knocking at your doors. We should be compassionate. It's a humanitarian issue. You are a human before you are an Indian. So, it should appeal to your humanity to take them in, to give them support and shelter. So, what do those who are against Rohingyas say to this argument? They say that when you are poor and helpless, that makes you that much more susceptible to radicalization. And since the Home Ministry has come up with a report that there are intel inputs to indicate that there are groups within Rohingyas who can fall prey to subversive agenda, therefore, it is in our best interest not to invite more trouble, not to invite the possibility of more terror agendas breeding in our country. What is the second argument that the pro-Rohingyas have to say? Those who support the cause of Rohingyas, they say that how can the poor, the helpless, the women and the children be a threat to your country? These are people who can barely stand up on their feet. They don't have a roof over their heads. They don't have enough to eat. And how can they pose any kind of threat to anybody when they can barely have 2 square meals a day to feed themselves? To that again, the argument is, well, that's precisely the reason why they could fall prey to a subversive agenda. That's precisely the reason why those who are looking out to radicalize more people can actually target the Rohingyas, because the moment you say there are women and children, there will be men coming along with them. And there will be that desperation to improve their plight. Okay, the third argument that is coming out very strongly again in support of Rohingyas is that India has traditionally been very compassionate when it comes to refugees. They say that when you could provide shelter to the Chakma refugees, to the Hejong refugees, you didn't have a problem with the Sri Lankan or the Tibetan refugees. Why now? So what they say is that it's only because the Rohingyas are Muslims is why you are having a problem here, because they could sort of destabilize the voting pattern if there are more Muslims coming in, if they make it to the electoral rolls, which has happened in the past in states like Assam. Then they could be a major trouble for you, and they link it to the larger argument of persecution of minorities in the country, and they say, well, it's only because of the religion of these refugees that you have a problem. To that, of course, the counter argument is that, well, it is the religion that is a problem, because after all, the jihadist elements are not going to target Hindu refugees. They're more likely to target Muslim refugees. So yes, religion is an issue, and they have not shied away from it, but at the same time making it very clear, and this is the government of India's position, that it is a matter of internal security threat. The government has stuck to that position. The other pro-Rohingya argument is that, the moment you do this, the moment you behave in a manner that you are not sympathetic to the issue of Rohingyas, it also means that you're not playing a very responsible role as a nation in this entire subcontinent, because after all, India is a major player. It is your responsibility, even if it's a humanitarian crisis emerging out of Burma, you as a country have a responsibility to resolve this crisis. It's not like it's not my problem, so stay away. You have a responsibility towards the entire region if you want to earn any respect as a major player. To that, of course, again, the counter argument is that India has enough problems of its own. This is for Myanmar to resolve. It is for the Burmese government to decide how they want to sort it out, because after all, this is and the genesis of this problem is an internal conflict. There is ethnic cleansing that's happening in Burma. So the moment you allow the Myanmar government to push this problem to India, then that could set a precedent. They will have an easy way out, and and why should we be handling their problems anyway? So I'll leave it for you to decide which side you want to be on and which argument you find more convincing. Do write in to me at ali.afrida@gmail.com. I'll be waiting for your response.